craziest trade demands in NBA history. It seems the hottest trend in the NBA is to ask for a trade to greener pastures. Kyrie Irving did it. Kawhi Leonard did it. Jimmy Butler did it. And all that happened in a span of 1 year. It doesn't just happen in basketball, either. What motivates athletes to demand trades varies across each situation. Sometimes, as in Irving's case, it's a desire to escape another player's shadow. In other instances, perhaps a player doesn't believe his team's management is committed or capable enough to build a championship-ready roster. But one thing is for certain, whatever the cause, anytime an athlete wants to leave a team, it's going to evoke strong feelings, and strong feelings are memorable. Here are some of the craziest trade demands in NBA history, in no particular order. But before we begin video, don't forget to slam that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. 10. Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain had spent his days in the NBA yearning to be legendary, to be great, to be remembered, and he definitely was. However, to do so he was traded twice, the second time, shipped out of Philadelphia, because he wanted to play elsewhere, with other guys. So, in 1968, for the price of a ball of twine and some new basketballs, Wilt Chamberlain was donning the purple and gold for the Lakers. Wilt was unhappy with the 76ers. That's right, he was unhappy with a team that had just went 62-20, a team that complimented him with Hal Greer, Billy Cunningham, and Chet Walker. Instead, he wanted to be a part of a Lakers team where he would just be one of the guys, not the guy, as he was playing with Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. It's always seemed that Chamberlain left the Sixers for two reasons: to play in LA and to play on a team where you wouldn't have to be the leader on the court. That, to me, just seems selfish. 9. Carmelo Anthony. I'll give Carmelo Anthony a slight break here, because he wanted to go back and play closer to home. But the way everything went down with him in Denver was still a disgusting act. Melo's departure from Denver wasn't exactly a trade demand. Instead, he simply refused to entertain the idea of signing a new contract with the Nuggets, and the team set out to trade him rather than lose him in free agency and get nothing in return. Anthony indicated he wanted to go to a big market like New York or Chicago, and after months and months of negotiations, he ended up with the Knicks. 8. Chris Paul. In an alternate universe, the Knicks could have been a super team. On the eve of the lockout-shortened 2011-12 NBA season, Chris Paul told the Hornets he wasn't going to sign a contract extension and asked to be traded to the Knicks. But the Carmelo-Amer CP3 trio never came to be. The CP3-Kobe pairing never happened, either. After Commissioner David Stern controversially squashed a three-way deal between the Hornets, Lakers, and Rockets, Paul did end up in Los Angeles eventually, with the Clippers. 7. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem will forever be remembered for his tenure with the Lakers, but he blossomed into the NBA's best player as a member of the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks selected Abdul-Jabbar, then known as Lou Alcindor, first overall in 1969, and he averaged better than 30 per game and made the All-Star team in each of his 6 seasons in Milwaukee. Kareem even won his first NBA title with the Bucks in 1971. But Abdul-Jabbar was not satisfied. He saw Los Angeles as a place where he could grow his brand, live in a bigger city, and above all, win more. His wish was granted in 1975, and Kareem would go on to win 5 more rings in LA en route to becoming the NBA all-time leading scorer. 6. Carmelo Anthony again. Melo's tenure in New York began well enough, but then Phil Jackson came along. Phil spent his last few months as Knicks president publicly lobbying for Anthony to waive his no-trade clause. He had already turned down a deal with the Clippers and didn't seem eager to leave his life in New York. But at some point he just said, "Screw it." Maybe Phil was right and told the Knicks he wants to join Chris Paul in Houston. 5. Hakeem Olajuwon. I've always remembered Hakeem Olajuwon as an all-around good dude, but his trade request back in 1992 was pretty selfish. Back in the late stages of Jordan's Bulls' first three-peat run, the Houston Rockets were a team having difficulties coping with the struggles that come with an emerging basketball team. Before the start of the 1993 season, Hakeem's agent demanded a trade and threatened a lawsuit because of a disagreement and a suspension that happened at the end of the previous season. Hakeem had suffered a hamstring injury in the spring of 1992, but refused to suit up after team doctors cleared him to play. The team then suspended him. Basically, had the Rockets not refused to trade him, Hakeem would have missed out on a chance at back-to-back titles because of a little spat with the front office. 4. Kyrie Irving. Irving spent the first 6 seasons of his NBA career with the Cavs, who made him the No. 1 overall pick in 2011. The 25-year-old was named to the All-Star team 4 times and won the 2016 NBA championship with Cleveland back in the summer of 2017. When Kyrie Irving was still a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers' perennial championship contending team alongside lead megastar LeBron James, he requested a trade from the franchise that drafted him with the first overall pick in the 2011 NBA draft. Amidst rumors the team was looking to trade him to the Phoenix Suns for Eric Bledsoe, and having grown tired of the teacher-apprentice relationship he had with James to that point, the Cavaliers traded Irving to the Boston Celtics in August. He has led Boston to the second-best record in the Eastern Conference, 40-19. 3. Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal spent 8 fulfilling seasons with the Lakers. He, along with Kobe Bryant, helped lead the Purple and Gold to 3 straight NBA titles from 2000 to 2002. Through his agent, Perry Rogers, O'Neal has demanded the Lakers trade him, a request team management sources say will be granted, if possible. O'Neal, in a telephone interview, said he had lost faith in the franchise and its general manager, Mitch Kupchak. The direction they're going in, if they're going to continue to go in the same direction, I don't want to be a part of this, O'Neal said. This team, it ain't about me. It ain't about Phil. It's supposed to be about team. Amid tension between O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, O'Neal was traded to the Miami Heat in 2004. 2. Kawhi Leonard. During the summer of 2018, Kawhi Leonard requested a trade from the San Antonio Spurs and was dealt to the Toronto Raptors. Parker and Manu Ginobili led a players-only meeting in which the Spurs veterans asked Leonard whether he planned to return for the 2017-18 season. Leonard was reportedly caught off guard by the discussion and left the team for New York to rehab his injury. The 2-time Defensive Player of the Year felt like he was being ambushed by San Antonio and needed space. The Spurs were hoping head coach Greg Popovich could convince Leonard to change his mind about the trade request, since the two had such a strong bond. However, Leonard told Popovich during a meeting in San Diego that he wanted out of San Antonio, didn't trust the Spurs medical team anymore, and was hoping on getting to Los Angeles to play for the Los Angeles Lakers or Los Angeles Clippers. San Antonio wasn't in the mood to do any favors for Kawhi Leonard. With that said, the franchise sent him to the Raptors, a team he had no interest in playing for before meeting with Masai Ujiri and Nick Nurse. 1. Kobe Bryant. Kobe's request was the rare one that wasn't mediated through an anonymous source. In 2007, Bryant told Stephen A. Smith on the radio, "I would like to be traded, yeah." Kobe was upset that someone within the Lakers organization leaked, falsely, Bryant claimed, that he was the reason Shaq left Los Angeles. The demand almost led to a Kobe for a LeBron trade, which would have stopped the rotation of the earth. What did you think about these crazy trade demands? Leave your thoughts in the comments section down below. Ring the notification bell, like, share, and subscribe.